Hey guys, welcome to the Millionaire Penny Coach program today. Today we're going to talk about the legacy of love. I love my grandchildren. I love my children. I love my grandchildren. And this is for my babies and when they're coming. I hope you can gather something from this and get you a financial goal as well. You may also want to share this video with your potential grandparents someday or their parents. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the legacy of love. I imagine myself someday laying on the bed, about to take my last few breaths, and in walks my little grandchildren with my children coming to my bedside. And I look into their little faces as I lay there, and I feel their little warm hands touch mine. I look into their little faces and I smile, and I just want to reach out and hold them. But I don't have that physical strength to do it. But what I do have, I have the mental capacity to look at each of them around the room and smile, knowing that I have taken some steps. I have made some sacrifices. I have sacrificed maybe me driving a new truck, me driving a vehicle that I wanted. I did something to set aside to make sure that I know that these kids, when they turn 62, they will be able to have financial retirement in place, secured by some piece of love, some piece of action that I took 62 years ago when they were first born. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Roth IRA. When these kids were born, what I did, I took $20,000 and I placed it into a Roth IRA. When they turn 62, they will be able to have a total. I just made a one-time contribution of $20,000 to their Roth IRAs. It's assuming a 9.85% interest with the S&P 500 is done over the past 30 years. At 62, they will have an equivalent of $6,770,000 in that account. Okay? I know $6 million will not be worth today what it will be 62 years from now. But when they turn 62, they will have had the advantage of this money that I worked and sacrificed for and put into a Roth 401k for them, Roth IRA for them. They will have the advantage of that money compounding each and every year. We'll set up a family trust estate where they cannot touch this money until they reach the age of 62. When they reach the age of 62, they can withdraw only the interest earned from the previous year, up to that amount. So at age 62, if this interest they earned the last year was $607,000, they can withdraw up to that amount. What I want to tell them though, I don't want them to draw the whole amount. I want them to continue to build this to produce family estates and trusts for their children and their grandchildren. It is very important that we learn the value of our money, the value of our finances, the value of thinking about the ones coming behind us. So when I'm lying there, I will know their little financial futures when they become elderly people someday will be taken care of. I won't be relying on the government. I won't be relying on them getting great financial returns, great investments, doing all the great things that I hope they do accomplish in their lives. But I know that this too will be in the background for each of them. Now what else I know is that only this amount will be utilized by them. So this other amount that's grown and compounded throughout the years will still be there that they can use for their children and their grandchildren. Why would I ever do something like this? Why would you ever think you would do something like this? This is called the sacrifice of legacy love. I love those grandchildren. I want them to be able to have a financial retirement, and I want to be rest assured that when I take my last breaths, I can look at them and know that I've done something to help them with that. It helps protect them from being a victim of society. Say they get into a bad marriage. Say they work real hard. They're taking care of their children, and their spouse divorces them. This money will be set aside for them at a specific time in their lives where they'll be able to utilize it to help secure their financial freedom. It protects them against bankruptcy. It protects them against job loss. All these things that I've experienced, it helps protect them against those things. Okay? It provides another foundation for which they can build their financial life. It gives them financial freedom to care for their parents. Well, what are you thinking there, Chris? This is what I'm thinking. When they turn 62, their parents will be age 82, 84, and they'll be, if they're still living, they'll be in those octogenarian years. And it's at that time they will start needing help. Then they will have the financial resources to keep their parents from having to go to a nursing home. They can actually pay to have care given to their parents while they live in their homes. That is a tremendous, tremendous financial benefit that they can give to their children to their parents who are my children. Okay? So that's not only am I loving my grandchildren, I'm also loving my children when I do this. It leaves legacy wealth to fund the family trust. My children and my grandchildren are going to know about family trust. How to put those family trusts together to protect these financial resources that we've built, these financial milestones that we've accomplished. We want to protect that from things like divorce, bankruptcies, lawsuits, and all those things. We teach this so that we can teach our children and our grandchildren to think about the things that can go wrong. When you're actually planning for life situations, you have to think, what can go wrong and how best can I prevent that? The financial freedom to care for their parents. Many people today are faced with a situation, and I see it with the baby boomers, where we're taking care of our parents. One of the great things about this program right here, this little gift that you established in love for your grandchildren, one of the greatest things is it will give your grandchildren the financial wherewithal to care for their parents. They will not have to worry about taking their parents and institutionalizing them into a nursing home. Now I want you to think about this for a minute. How many people now are faced with a situation where they have to make horrible financial choices, financial decisions about being able to put their parents into a nursing home? Wouldn't it be incredible? Now I'm not talking about just their parents, but I'm talking about your children. Your children. Wouldn't it be incredible if your children's children had the financial wherewithal, and you knew they were going to have it because of what you did earlier to take care of their elderly parents in their home? That's where we're talking here. We're talking about a tremendous financial impact. I want you to understand that. If they had the financial wherewithal to say, no, my mama is not going to a nursing home. My daddy is not going into a nursing home to potentially be mistreated. I'm not saying all nursing homes do that, but being in healthcare, I've noted many times when even in our own hospitals, patients don't get the care that they would get from their loved ones. To be able to know that that parent could spend the last years of their life or days or months in their lives being taken care of in their own home where they raise their children is a tremendous asset that you have. How could you ever put a price on that? When we talk about opportunity costs, this takes opportunity costs to a whole new level, okay? A whole new level. Opportunity cost is the cost of comparing one financial decision versus the other. The loss, the financial loss of not being able to take care of their parents at home, your children. Just think of that, okay? I invested $20,000. Was it hard? Yeah, it was a little sacrifice, but what was the sacrifice? I could take that $20,000, that $65,000 I had cash, I could go for each of my grandchildren and open up a Roth retirement account for them, put that money in there, put it to work, and at age 62, they can take that money out, that interest out, and not have to pay any taxes on that money. Now, if the laws change, so what? They still got that big chunk of money in interest that they can pull out each and every year. And for me to think I could drive a nice $65,000 diesel truck around and enjoy these last few years riding in a fine vehicle, or I can take $20,000 in each of my grandchildren and open an account in Schwab for them, a custodial Roth account, put it in there, put it in a state, and label it and put those parameters on there so that one day when they hit 62, I know they're financially going to be set. And they will also be able to take care of my two precious daughters too. I would want nothing would break my heart worse than knowing that my daughters I love so very much would end up in a nursing home where they were not treated as though I would want them to be treated. I would love to know that their children are able to keep them in their homes where they are and protect their assets from Medicaid, Medicare, and any other type of government agency that would want to come in and take their assets away. That's tremendous. In addition, legacy wealth. My children and my grandchildren will understand the power of legacy family trust, how they can establish trust for their children and their grandchildren and keep these trusts where they cannot touch the principals, but the only thing they can utilize is the interest that it earned the previous year. And they won't be able to do that until they've reached the age of a certain account that we've established, a parameter that we've established. When you think about finances, when you think about your personal finances, you got to think about tomorrow. You got to think about opportunity costs. Yes, I have this money now. I can take this wild vacation to Europe, or I can take this money and I can set up an estate fund for my children and my grandchildren and have that money knowing that it's there to take care of them. That's what we're talking about. That's what I want to teach you. That's what we talk about all the time in our Millionaire Penny Coach program. We're always thinking outside the box, looking at finances in a different area. And that's what I want to give to you today. I want you to be able to take this. You may want to share this video with one of your parents because you're pregnant or you're about to be pregnant or you just had a child and the child's 2 or 3 years old. It may be time for you to share this video with your parents. Do this. This would be an incredible, and you know, here's the sad thing. Most parents never even think of this. Most grandparents never even think of this. I can think of grandparents that I know that love their grandchildren so much, even if they didn't have the $20,000 cash to do this, they would do $5,000 a year per child for the next 4 or 5 years to put that 401k custodial program together, the Roth program, knowing that they're taking care of their children. There's a big difference between writing a $20,000 check versus a $5,000 check. And many parents and grandparents would do this for their children and their grandchildren. So I want you to think about this. Look at this in more than one perspective and in one way. Just because you have a grandchild that's 5 years old don't mean you can't go establish this next week. You know, learn about this, educate yourself about this. This is called financial enlightenment. This is called taking your brain and putting in information that now has enlightened and lit up your reticular activating system, so that now you can look at things in a different perspective. No, I'm not going to buy my child that $18,000 car. Maybe I want to go open up a Roth IRA for them. I want to teach them, if they'll do this, then I'll do that. You know, I want to put parameters on there. A different way to looking at finances, a different way of looking at their financial freedoms. Thank you guys for joining us today. And I hope if you get value out of this, I want you to hit that like and subscribe button, because we need subscribers so I can continue to bring more of this information to other people, so that the algorithm will take it out and we can explain more to this. We desire to make American families stronger, better, and build a financial future that we can solidify for our children and our grandchildren. If you want to do that, if you want to pay this forward, if you think this was good information, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you back next week. Have a great week.